Hello and welcome to our first battle report. I'm Almentro, the Duke of Geeks, and with me this time is Harkunash from Germany, and we will make our first battle report, so please be gentle with us.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, good morning. What time you think so? What time you see this? Yeah, we have a battle report for you. 3 games in total for a tournament called the Karl-Franz-Cup. It was near Munich in Germany. I played with Warriors of the Dark Gods, and this here is for the first game. So Simon normally would participate too in these tournaments, but he had a lot to do this weekend where the tournament was. He got married, so
Yes,
that's really a good reason to not go to a tournament.
it's one of the few reasons you can bring. There are only a few, not too many.
Yeah. So let us get straight to the lists. First there is my list. I played my standard Chaos list, a double Lord on Chimera, one with Trophy Rack, Hellforged Armor with Gladiator Spirit, Weapon Master with all weapons you can think about, Talisman of Shielding, Luck of the Dark Gods, which means he has a 4-up Aegis, Immortal Gauntlets, and Greed. That's why he has the Weapon Master. What do you think of this Charles, Simon?
Um, this list is based on a proper monster mesh. Those two lords are flying, so they can't be chaffed, or they can't be chaffed that easily. They are fast enough to get wherever they want, even if you drop for the first turn, which you mostly do. And so they are pretty solid in duels. They just have to watch out for not getting Sooner Locket. That's the way I want to call it, or to get into a duel where they stack into. But they are pretty solid characters, and they can put they can put much of pressure on the opponent, especially if you look at your Feldrex, which are also 816. So this list is quite horrible for many armies at the moment, because it's heavily basing on fast, hard-hitting single models, which is one of the most important things in the whole game. Yeah. And I like the Evocation Master way more than the Alchemy guy, because I think Evocation with reroll to wound, reroll to hit brings more to the list than the buffs
Yeah, but
Alchemy can bring. Yeah.
that is a mistake from my side. It was the
Oh.
alchemist. It was
Oh,
the
okay.
alchemist
Yeah.
master.
Perhaps we
But nice
okay.
to know
It's just my
that you
opinion. I
like
like
the
Evocation
evocation.
more
Okay, why?
than Alchemy. Yeah.
Why do you like the evocation master more than the alchemy master?
Um, you with this list, you don't have to fear models with high armor, because you have strength 6 at with your Feldrex, with your Chosen Lord potentially. And one of the things you might want to see in the close combat is that your Feldrex can reroll to hit and reroll to wound, or your sniping spells, which can't be uh, obliterated by Dragonfire Gem or Basalt Infusion, because most of the cowboys today have one of them at least.
Okay.
So it's just my opinion. Yeah.
So you think
Just think
evocation
of
would
the
be better than
yeah.
alchemy?
I like Evocation Warriors, but yeah, and Warriors, Barbarians, and Feldrox just do their thing. They can score. Barbarians just shouldn't die. Warhounds can chuff, and the Whalegate Orb gives you the option to snipe away chuff with the
No. The Wellgate Orb
nope.
gets me to save up to 6 whale tokens.
Ah, it was the icon with Hellfire.
Yeah, genau, the Icon of the Infinite.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
this
This.
tournament is the first time I use a Lust Chimera Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in the past, it was sometimes a Wrath, sometimes a Envy Lord, but I love the
Option to flee.
the option to flee. Yeah, that's and a Chimera Lord who can flee is really cool. And I made this move, I think, one time in this battle, and my my opponent didn't even think that I would flee. And this gives a lot of momentum in the game. And
Yep.
yeah, maybe I really have to play Evocation again and not
Yeah,
Alchemy.
but don't get me wrong. I see many people playing alchemy, many way better player than me. But I just think what might annoy you, fast flying heroes which can bind the warriors, for example, and in most cases they have the Basalt Infusion or the Dragonfire Gem or Dragon Armor from Highborn Elves, and they just don't care about alchemy.
Yeah.
And you have so much high strength attacks in this army that high armor isn't such a big deal for you.
I think you have a point. Something to try next time. Yeah, my opponent in the first round was Hawkins. He's a local Munich gamer. I think he played Warriors of the Dark Gods too, but a totally different list from mine. The problem was I were 5 minutes late, just as always. So I ran straight into into the tournament building on my table, and yeah, this is his list. He plays a chosen lord on dragon. It's something really special. Haven't seen that much. It was the first time, indeed, I see a lord on dragon. A sorcerer on dragon is, yeah, you can see more, but not really. With a trophy rack with Alta icon, a shield, a hand weapon burning important. It means he has strength 5, AP 10, flaming, divine, and magical attacks with D3 life points. It's kind of good. Obsidian Rock, portion of swiftness, sloth, and dark prelate. So he has the 2 bounce spells. All in all, a solid character, resistance 7 dragon, but no Aegis, and this is something I don't like on
Yes.
the Dragon Lords. This
Yes.
can
There
kill you.
are many specific matchups where he just has to hide from cannons or other from cannons or other heavy shooting because of the missing of Aegis. And yes, he has Aether Icon and Obsidian Rock, but just his flaming here we are again, his flaming attacks can potentially be against him in duels. Just send up from Empire of Sonstaline prelate or a inquisitor versus him with a fire aegis, and he will stick around.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
In my case, it was good for him. I have a little problems with flamings because my general just has a fortitude and a 2+
Yeah.
armor save, a 2 armor save. Um, yeah,
Mm. But he only has fly 612. So you
yeah,
and with his ground movement you can shove him.
yes,
So if you don't want it, he won't get the close combat he wants. And
yes.
your Feldrex, yeah, I think they like the flaming attacks more. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he has a sorcerer with
Yeah.
Whale Walker on Skywheel, Wizard Master Occultism with Destiny's
Mm.
Call, Binding Scroll, and Wyrdstone. That's really a cool
Yeah.
model, but
Yeah.
a little overload from the
Hmm.
points.
Yes. Yes.
The
It's
At the time I looked at the list, he was my number one pain in the ass, I
mm.
would say, because he's fast. I don't have much range who can shoot him,
Mm.
and if he played him right, he could be
Yes.
really, really nasty for me.
Yeah. That's something that also comes to my mind when I see this model. It's unusual. It's there are too many points, but um, advance in March 618 means that he can make his occultism sniping spells, and he gets into the close range,
He,
and
because of Whale Walker, he can increase the range
yeah,
with 6
even
inch.
more. Yes,
So
you're right.
um,
Perhaps this should have been something he can put away because he's fast enough. Perhaps.
no, because with Whale Walker you can either say, okay, every model in the enemy unit has to reroll his armor saves, or you can
Yeah.
reroll the wounding rolls, or you can increase the spell range of 6.
Yes.
That's really good. Okay, it's 100 points, but if you play
Mm.
occultism with a sky wheel, I would do the same. But I think I if you need the binding scroll, I don't know, or the Wyrdstone,
Mm.
this is something you can cut off, and then you are on 610
Mm.
points or 600 straight. And that
Mm.
looks way better.
Less points. Yeah, less points. Yes, if you place him in a way that he gets behind your lines or um, into your lines, he can be really nasty for you.
Yep.
Yes.
In my opinion, this was his joker against me.
Mm.
So this was my threat. In the core, he has 12 warriors with
Yes.
last, 10 warriors with last, and 10 barbarian horsemen. So nothing to be scared about. In the special section, something you see not very often, 4 chosen knights with Sloth, Wasteland
Mm-hmm.
Torch Musician Champion. Um, I personally don't like the chosen knights because they cost a bunch of points and are not that good.
Yeah.
And
They struggle the same problem then as many models which get into the same category. Um, the things they want to fight, they don't get the fight, and things they don't want to fight, they get charged by them,
yep,
or they get shoved, or shot down, or alchemy down. That's the big problem.
yes, absolutely. And
Versus good players, you never get the charge you want. Never.
yeah, and this is 604,
Yeah.
38 points for 4
Yeah.
models. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then then he has a chosen chariot, also
Mm-hmm.
with Sloth.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cool model, but I like the Greed chariot more.
Yeah.
And I personally think if you play a chariot, you have to play 2. Not just
Yeah.
one, you have to play 2. Because one has always the problem, one gets chaffed, one you have to decide on which flank you will go, or if you're going
Mm.
central. And with 2 you can do a move on both flanks, and yeah, it's easier.
Mm.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
2 times 5 Warhounds, a Forsaken one, and a marauding giant with familiar. It means he is a magician.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
this list, it has a few synergies, but it's a little bit random if I
Mm.
look at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
With the Chosen Knight and the Chosen Chariot, he and his Chosen Lords and the Sorcerer,
Yes.
he says for pushing, and the Forsaken one is a unit that's not so good for pushing.
Yeah. It's more just for zoning the opponent,
Yeah,
and playing even a little bit more controlled, even even if it sounds contradictory, but and the marauding giant on his own. I always like it more when there are more giants on the battlefield, not just one.
yeah,
But okay,
giant
you push with
in terms of Warriors of the Dark Gods is
yeah. They have a hard stand versus all the other monsters.
yeah, right,
There's
and
just the question: why should I take a giant? Um, um, and on the other hand, I can get a Feldrek for more points, of course. But we all know that Feldreks are just the best.
yeah, one of the
Mm,
best at the moment. Yeah.
one of the best, of course. Yes. So we have pushing with chosen chariot. Yes, Forsaken one. You can never say. Chosen Lord, and I think it might get a little bit problem with scoring and holding positions. Um, yeah, Last Warriors. Yeah. But we will see.
Yeah, we will see. We played
Yeah.
Encircle with, I think, Secure Target it was.
Hmm.
Um, my opponent won the roll for the side and he chose to play as the aggressor, as the attacker.
Hmm.
So the
Hmm.
Centrum
Yes.
in front, and I said, okay, I will place my units first for the first turn, and this is how I placed it. So from left to right, Feldrax onto the left, cause of yeah, they are just fast and fast scoring units. Here is a marker, and the other one is in the middle of the field. So I have here one scoring unit who can fight for this marker early on,
Yeah. Yeah.
and for support I have my Greed Chimera Lord, five Chaffing Hounds, the Feldrak. In this position, my idea was so he can go left or right. If I'm seeing
Yeah.
how my opponent will react to my moves,
Yeah.
he can be just a joker. The other hounds in the middle for the same reason, cause of the help me cause of the markers here and here.
Hmm.
The right flank was not really interesting for me, so I just put one Feldrug to the right to
And he's enough because he's fast enough to get just in the middle and
yes,
everywhere he
and
wants.
he's a big enough threat for the opponents
Yes.
that they have to put something against him. Yeah, and the Centrum will be my general, the Envy Warriors, the Barbarians with the Sorcerer in it, and the Battle Shrine.
Yeah.
And my opponent reacted with this kind of move. The Barbarian Horseman on the left against my Feldrex with the Giant and with the Chosen Knights. And behind them, the
Yeah.
Occultism Mage.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
and I really thought this was a smart play. I think I would have done him around here, because then I make the first move, then he can zone me out. And right now in this flank, the Feldrucks are the most threatening thing for him, because they can score and they hold the whole flank. Then he has 1 hounds here, the 10 warriors, the 12 warriors, hounds, his big, big nasty dragon.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the fact
Yeah,
that he has an awesome army. It's art. It's really art. Yeah.
it's really odd, and it's, I think, the biggest model I've seen so far on the tournament.
Yeah.
And hounds, the chosen chariot, and the forsaken one out on the flank. So after I see his how he plays his models, I I was, yeah, I thought it was 1-0 for me. Because right here he has 790 points on the flank
Which
for
was the
490 points from me. And these are 2 models who can threaten a whole lot of my army.
Yeah, and they are on the flank. Yeah,
Yep.
which was not a good
So
idea.
that was fantastic for me. And on the left
Mm.
flank, there only were the chosen knights, who are bad for my Feldrucks. Every other model here can't harm them in close combat. The barbarian horseman, the giant, it's nothing to be in fear. And I have my war dogs for cheffing right here.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I get your point. I think the deployment on his left flank is in a way that he won't get any pressure from there. You will control the center from the first turn on. What comes to my mind is that he doesn't try to use the impassable terrain to get his models in a position behind it. I would love to see the Skywheel guy after his first turn behind one of those buildings, and the impassable left or the building on the right, to zone out the center from this point.
Yes.
Perhaps at least try it. I know it's not easy versus your high mobile list, but at least trying it. Yeah.
And he can play hide and seek behind the impassables.
Yes, he can, but I don't see his options after this deployment. Yeah.
The fun fact is, he won the roll for the sides and choose this side, his side with the centrum. And I had thought for myself, I looked at the map and thought for myself, if I win the roll, I have to take the side where I am now with my flanks in front. So he gave me my wishing side.
Yeah, but I think that's the reason. The reason for that is that in most cases, it's better to force your opponent to be on a flank where there are impassables, because then you're if you're not that fast, but you are fast, I know, you're stuck behind the impassable. But yes, versus you, it's not that important because you're so fast. Yes.
Yeah, then my first move was this. So I've I just moved forward with my whole army. This Feldred made a move around the house. So his Forsaken one and the Chosen Chariot were just out of the game the first round. They can do nothing. 1 unit of Hounds is going for the right, for chasing the Chosen Chariot. The other one
Yes.
is going straight. This is ruins cause of Wasteland Torch,
Mm?
Knight of Wood.
Yes.
And then here we have the Feldrax, my Chimera Lord, who just went 16 inches cause he don't has to fear anything on this flank.
Mm.
Not a single unit can take him on. If the Chosen Knights get into him, he kills them. And they
Yeah.
do a really low against them.
It's a classical chess move, what you did there. Multiple threats.
Yeah.
It's a classical chess move, what she did there.
And yeah, I locked all options. I think the Feldrak and Camelot are in the centrum.
Mm.
My warriors are a little on the right. At this moment, I think I have the better side, so I have to move
Yeah.
forward and put pressure on my opponent and
Yeah. Of course.
dictate the game from phase one.
Yeah. Yes. That's what your list can do very good, very well. And yeah, you zoned out your opponent, and there's not that much he can do now, because you have such a long threat range here. Um, the Forsaken one on the flank, I think it's not too much to say that it's not the best option here. It only has random movement, so it will last very long to get there into the action.
Yeah,
Yeah,
3d6, it's 9 to 10 in average, so it's not
yeah,
this
it's a
big of
long
a move.
way.
Yeah.
It's a long way. Mm.
Um, in the magic phase, I get Word of
Yes.
Iron onto the right, Feldrock Elder, just
Buff, buff, buff.
just for the case. And
Yeah.
then this is my next turn, I think. Let me see. Yeah. I don't made a picture of his turn. All
He
in
got
all,
back.
I charged with the first Felder. His warriors were here.
Mm-hmm.
I charged
Oh.
with the Chimera Lord, the first warrior unit. He flees.
Mm-hmm.
And with the Feldrak, this was something he was not aware. I charged them off the board, so the 12 warriors were gone because of
Classic.
fleeing.
Mm-hmm.
My Chimera Lords then redirected into this warriors. The Chimera Lord on this flank go into the warrior, and the Feldraks were going into the Barbarian Horseman. He made a move that I can see the Horseman with my Chimera Lord, and I
Mm-hmm.
can't you see it on this. I can't wheel out of my Lord, so it
Yeah.
was a smart move, but if my Lord go, I think I needed an 8 or a 9, and if he can make it into the Giant, my Feldrucks can charge into the Horseman.
Yeah, and you can't shove a flyer by preventing him from wheel, because he can always wheel above a unit, and it only counts when he where he lands. His landing place is important. Yeah. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh,
I jumped a
Forsaken.
little bit. Yeah, the Chimera Lord makes it into the Giant. The
Mm-hmm.
Feldrux makes it into the Horseman. And at that moment, I think his Sorcerer is somewhere here, but
Within an inch.
he put him down cause of the big unit from the dragon. He can't
Yeah.
put him down. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I had and then my Feldrock moved forward cause of that.
Yes, failed charge.
Yeah, and it was a 16-inch charge for his
But
Forsaken one, and he made it with a 5.56.
nice, nice,
Um,
good one.
yeah, the rest you can see here. So my barbarians my Feldrucks are in his horseman, and they really stuck in the horseman. He don't has one rank. I just killed one with
It can happen.
with 12 attacks, strength 5, AP2, hitting on freeze. I just killed one. He made 1 life point. He lost with 1 and stands.
So, what do we learn? Take
Yeah.
evocation.
Yeah, take evocation. You're right. My Chimera Lord kills off the marauding giant
Surprise.
and makes a combat reform. And
Post-combat reform, yes.
my Chimera Lord was around here, and he charged him with his dragon, and I fled. And
his dragon charged him.
yeah, and
Okay.
the dragon was standing
In the middle of nowhere.
silly around in the middle of nowhere. Yes. My war dogs were chaffing the chosen chariot because I was afraid that the chosen chariot will get into the flank of my Feldruck and not the
Forsaken one. Forsaken one.
So his Forsaken one overran into my warrior unit.
Oh.
And my Feldruck fled and he takes him. So I was behind by a few points at this moment. He buffs up his dragon with Spectral Blades and Hand of Glory, so he has a 5 of Aegis and reroll to hit. To wound, so that's kind of strong. This is a close up
view
from his dragon. It's really a beautiful model. And yeah, this is I think start of my 3rd turn.
Yeah, looks like.
Finally,
so the Bavarian
horsemen were broken. Yeah. On the left flank, I had all
multiple options.
Yeah, all in my hand. Chimera Lord was here, but he has faint flight, so he can move 16 inch from there, so everything's alright. And this is the charge phase. So I charged his sorcerer, and he fled, but stand on the field. I think he needed 1 inch more. My warriors were attacking his Forsaken one. He hasn't rolled high enough to get into them. My Battle Shrine went straight into the flank of this warriors. And yeah, my Chimera Lord goes for the duel with his Dragon Lord. And the Feldrucks and the Feldruck Elder went straight into the Chosen Knights.
Wow. Charge phase.
Yeah, 3rd turn. Mostly 3rd turn is the charge phase.
Yes, I know. Yeah, there's not that much you can do.
This is the close-up from the combats on the left side. And he really, I think it was 1 inch. But
yeah, why not?
Yeah. Yes, he has a little bit of luck. And that was that was the end of the 3rd turn. So my Feldruck Elder lost 1 health point. My Feldrucks lost another health point and killed all. And I think they killed about 10 or 11 life points of the Chosen Knights, I think. They have Word of Iron and Glory of Gold on them, and Chosen Knights had Alchemical Fire on them, so I have had reroll to wound with AP3 and AP4 for all the units, so that was hard. And the duel from my Chimera Lord and his Lord, where I killed him 4 life points, I think. He killed me 2 because of his D3 wounds. And he sticks and made his post-combat reform. So we are now.
So you're not that long in the flank, yeah.
Yeah, we are now face to face.
Yeah.
That he made both tests is kind of surprising because I won with, I think, 4. Yeah, I made 4 attack, charge, flank with 4 as. He made me 2, so he has a 5 rerollable.
Yeah, but the problem is he's just in such a self-made corner that it doesn't matter that much.
Yeah, but in one good
just
phase,
lasts longer.
Yeah, now he hits with me in the same time, and
yeah, he can kill him. Yes, of course, that's right. Yeah. Yes,
because of the D3 wounds, and this is a little bit nasty. The Battle Shrine kills only 1 guy, and they stick and made the combat reform. My warriors kill off the Forsaken one, and this was the time I made a mistake, because I put them so that I can charge the Lust Warriors, and didn't look for his chariot on the flank.
Yeah. But nevertheless, it was a smart move of you to charge the warriors in the flank to prevent them to make a charge versus your lord or versus your other warriors. So I think this was a good move to pin them there. Yeah.
And in his turn, yeah,
makes the charge.
These are dead.
yeah, of course.
He make the charge into the flank of my warrior unit, and I think the mage fled off the board. That's
Panic?
why he's standing here.
No.
Yeah, he already was on panic, and he didn't make the 8 and ran off the board.
It can happen.
But
yes,
the horsemen were standing, so that's a little bit of a threat because they are scoring and can go for the marker over here.
Hey.
So my Feldrak Elder has something to do on this flank.
And he has 2 more turns left, so it's okay.
Yeah. In the close combat, he kills off, I think, 4 warriors or 5. But I'm steadfast because of my flank rank, and I reformed to give him my front. In the close combat, he made 1 wound again, but only with 1 life point, lucky me, and I killed off his Dragon Lord. My Battle Shrine killed off, I think, 4 from his guys. And yeah, that was his turn. Then my 4th turn, I think. I just got a message from my wife who is saying, don't say always I think. And what do I? I say I think. Yeah. Yeah, this is then my 4th turn. I charged. I killed off the chosen chariot Cause he
With your barbarians. Wow.
with my warriors.
Ah, okay. Mm-hmm.
Cause he really rolls bad, and I
Mm-hmm.
made 2 life points, and he ran away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then I do a multiple charge with my Camelot and the Feldrax into the last warriors,
Yeah.
and
Not
that
that
was
much
the
left.
game. Yeah, and that was, and then we
Yeah.
called it a day, cause the barbarian horsemen on the right were I just put my Feldrock Elder onto the
Yeah.
mission, onto the marker, and
Yeah.
he can't get close enough there. And yeah, that was the whole game, and surprisingly,
Not that much left from your opponent.
yeah, and
But that
I
happens if a hard hitting list gets the first turn versus you, and you don't even try to zone or to make a little bit seek your advantages. Yeah, but it's really hard to play versus this kind of list if you don't get the first turn. It's just really hard then. Yes.
yeah,
Um, but you played it very well. You put the pressure on from the first turn on. You took the first turn and you got out of the impassibles. And I don't think your opponent had that much chances with his roster. Perhaps, as we said before, if he played his sorcerer a little bit more aggressively, and if he used his deployment a little bit more just to keep you back, I think you can make it with Encircle when you take the large middle. You can make it, but it's hard versus this roster, yes.
yeah, and it was all in all, what was it? I lost only
Mm-hmm. Frederick?
706 points.
Yeah. Ah,
So that's not much, and he lost his whole army.
yeah.
Yeah,
So you were facing a tough next battle ahead.
yeah, it was after round 4 we called it a day, and so I was one of the first who were ready, and I had a look at my opponents this time, and it was clear that my next opponent will be Durin with Infernal Dwarfs, and he was my opponent the second round on the last tournament too, so it was kind of a rematch, and his hopes were high.
Yeah. He wanted his revenge.
He wanted his revenge. Oh, yeah. Last time he lost 20-0 cause of really good luck from my side. Without the luck, it would be a 15-5 for me. Let's have a look what happened on the next battle report. So thank you, Simon, for being the moderator this time.
I just give my 2 cents.
And I hope we hear you next time. And goodbye to everyone outside. Have a nice day.
Bye. Good evening.